Don't you just love that sound? You can say yes.
Oh, I can talk
Oh,
now?
you can talk now.
I was told not to talk.
Kelly,
Yes.
I just don't need you blurbing in while I'm trying to do
Like this?
my intro.
Like that
You know what I
right
mean?
there?
Every time that you talk
like
while
this?
I'm doing the intro, we're wasting valuable time for our listeners. All 13 of them. Let's get this going. Welcome to episode 22 of Generational Gap. We are back. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of new stuff, so we're going to take it slow today. Just kind of get our bearings back. I'm Carter Ash, running the boards, looking handsome. Got a new shirt. Can't wait to show it to you guys. Today we have the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Kelly David Kraft.
Wow. My middle name. Even.
Drop the middle name. Got to dox
You
you.
need my social
I want
security
to
number?
dox you.
You need my social security number?
What's up, Kelly?
I grew a beard.
You did. Show it off a little bit. There you go.
We need a beard
I also
sponsor.
grew a beard. Yeah, maybe we'll get a beard. Hey, at this podcast, we care about beards. We care
do.
about beard, maintenance and hygiene.
First beard I've ever grown my whole life.
I've always wanted to be sponsored by Manscaped.
I don't think
You don't think we're ready for Manscaped?
Manscaped, well, they sponsor everybody. I'm looking for a beard sponsor.
What's his
Beard.
name from The Wire? Have you seen his video? We might cut straight to it right now. Have you seen that?
No.
The owner of the Daily Wire,
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy's Razors. Have you
Yeah.
seen that commercial?
I have seen that.
Where he's like, "Fuck you, I like money."
Yeah.
He's like all the women and everything. Just
They're going after Harry's.
Harry's, yeah, all of them. I thought that was a fun commercial.
Yeah, I
He's
liked it.
He's like, you know what? I'm a man, and guess what? I'm gonna keep being a man. If you like teaching your 4-year-old daughter how to shave, you're fucking weird.
Speaking of the Daily Wire,
Yeah.
I love Ben Shapiro. Do you know who Brett Cooper is?
Nope.
Google it.
Okay.
I have found this person on TikTok.
You said Brett Cooper.
I think it's Cooper. Or just put Brett Daily Wire.
It will put it there for me.
It's a girl. And she's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I've seen her. Oh yeah, totally.
But,
No, here.
pull
You
it
want
up.
just got the images, or you want to watch a video of her?
Just like hit that one right there.
Yeah. Super
She's got
pretty.
it. She's super pretty. Super smart, obviously.
Great audio setup, by the way. Love that
She
stand.
has to be related to Ben Shapiro. She looks just like him.
Guess what? We could probably figure it out.
I mean, doesn't she just look like the female version? It looks like somebody.
You start typing and it says, "Is Brett Cooper related to Ben Shapiro?"
They look exactly the same.
Who is Brett Cooper from Daily Wire? Everything you need to know about. Should we go on this one?
Sure.
Okay.
Everything about the more you.
Here, I'm just going to control find
Okay.
and see if I can find the word related. Nope. The word related.
If you went back to her Wikipedia, they probably would have said something.
Yeah. Oh, there's related articles. Yeah. Let's go back to
But
her.
I'm just like, she looks just like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. And she does kind of like those breakdown videos, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's what's going on. Let me explain to you why. This is Ben Shapiro's.
Does he have any
But there's usually like a personal life or.
early life, personal life?
Or you know what? I could also do this. I can just type in Brett. Nope. Brett Cooper is not in this article.
Huh.
Oh, well. But they do look like thick eyebrows, good white skin, black hair.
It looks like that gender. Remember how
Yeah.
hot I was when they made my Marine picture
Yeah.
into a chick?
Yeah.
That looks like they made Ben Shapiro into a good-looking girl. But anyways,
I'm just going to type them both in. I'm
just
going to do
said-
Brett.
it just said, is Brett Cooper related to Ben Shapiro?
I need to pick. I want like a side. Oh, here's a side-by-side pick. No way.
Dude, I'm telling you, they look exactly the same.
She's like the iCarly version of Ben Shapiro.
So
Okay, cool.
she's super funny.
Yeah, I've seen her. Yeah, I've seen
follow
her.
her on TikTok?
There's the other guy on the Daily Wire. So I know of Ben Shapiro. I guess Candace Owens is also now on the Daily Wire. There's this chick,
Matt Walsh.
He's got a like scruffy beard, kind of black hair, young guy, maybe younger than Ben Shapiro.
Then there's like
And then there's the owner.
The Indian guy, I think. When I say Indian, like actually from India. So that is the
I think
proper way of
it's
saying
2022. I think everybody kind of realizes that's what you're saying. at this
the
point.
Eastern Asian. Is that better?
The Asian Pacific American Islander.
Yeah.
What is that? APAC?
But what's his name? I don't know. He's very good too.
Let's just look at the Daily Wire cast.
I like. So they're going hard. You know, they got their own movie studio now.
Yeah. I know. And they were calling out Disney and all this stuff.
They're
I'm like,
going after Disney now.
have fun, but you know.
see DeSantis calling out Disney?
I did see DeSantis calling out Disney.
Like, you're going to call all about this, but you're going to take $100 million from China.
Yeah. Well, he's also like, he makes a great point. He's kind of like, Disney is based in California. They should have nothing to do with Florida politics. I mean, I get it that they have Disneyland Orlando, which, you know, kind of ruins what I was just saying. But in terms of like, as an entity, like Disneyland getting involved in Florida politics is kind of like a California
Google this, because I don't know if this is true or not.
I only DuckDuckGo.
Oh, yeah. Let's totes. The new CEO of Disney.
Yeah.
It's a lady. I'm sorry, I'm assuming her gender. Has a child who's pansexual.
What about this guy?
That's why as a child, I heard, and I'm not saying I just take things with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But they have a child. It was a lady.
Okay. I'm not
had a child. Okay, who has a child who's pansexual?
Right.
And so she's like from that mind frame.
Right.
You know, that's why everything's going that way.
Did you see that leaked video of that one lady giving like a Zoom meeting or something? And she was like super open. She was like, "Oh yeah, I throw gay stuff into everywhere I can.
Maybe
people kissing in the background. I don't care. I'm just pushing my gay agenda." She literally works for Disney, is high up in the story writing group or wherever she's from, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no one stops me pushing my gay agenda. Like I'll make two characters kiss, or I'll make a gay couple in the background, like, which I don't care. I actually don't mind. I think that we blow this up way out of proportion. What Ron DeSantis is doing, in my opinion, curbs a lot of the worries of that. Because we've had this conversation. We talked with Daddy Issues about it last couple podcasts ago. Remember about the whole, like, you know, I'm going to have to help CJ navigate this environment. But what Ron DeSantis is doing, that bill that he's passing, I'm not even going to call it by what the media calls it, because that's fucking
stupid.
It's such a
has nothing.
That's such a ploy. That's such a game that they're playing. All it does for anyone out there, the quote "don't say gay" bill that you've probably heard about, what it is not allowing schools from grades 3 and under to teach students about sexual identity. So public schools cannot teach about sexual identity.
Teachers should not be even talking about that with a kindergartner.
Right, and exactly.
And that's all they're doing.
I think any parent can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, any right-minded, normal human being should be able to understand that. When you're off in high school, I totally understand a high school kid looking to a teacher as maybe one of their only outlets for adult interaction that won't judge them. So maybe they want to talk them over and say, "Hey, I've been having these feelings," or whatever. That's totally cool. But going out of your way and telling kindergartners about the gingerbread man and how he's pansexual, way too far. Yeah. That's indoctrination.
That is
There's a difference between the kid, you know. So in that bill, it basically say if the kid asks, first off, the teacher can't do anything about that. But if the kid asks, the teacher by law has to say,
that's a question for your parents.
Exactly. They have to kind of turn it over. Go talk to mom and dad. Go talk to aunt, uncle, kind of a thing. Like, which
that should be.
It's not that controversial. Also, Ron DeSantis was saying,
dude, I love him.
I've been all over this. Ron DeSantis was saying in that press interview, he's like, you know, this bill's been in the works for almost 2 years. You know, this bill has gone all the way through Florida House of Representatives, through all the different mechanisms in place in Florida government in order for a bill to become law. And now, only when it's sitting in front of Ron DeSantis' desk does Disney flip out. They've had 2 years to flip out, and they haven't said a fucking word. And all of a sudden, it's like this
hypocrisy is just...
The hypocrisy is ridiculous. It's,
you know...
So, just stay in your lane, Disney.
Just stay in your lane.
It's not tearing down gay. And President Joe Biden was like, we're gonna fight against, you know, trans hate bills and gay hate bills. He was like saying stuff like that. It's like, oh my gosh, dude. I don't even know.
I've stopped watching the news.
I don't know what world we
I
live
really
in.
have stopped watching the news.
I was right. Can we say this on air about my February 22nd, 2022?
Oh, yes, you were.
And that's why we haven't done a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. But that was our last episode. And I was like, hey, world's going to fall apart. Not the world's going to fall apart, but some crazy shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was calling for the Great Reset. I thought that everything was going to happen. I think it's not as fast as we think it's going to be, but them crushing the Russian economy that quickly is trouble.
So I got a hot sports opinion.
Okay.
Everybody thinks Zelensky's like this awesome dude.
What about the perfect phone call?
I'm slowly researching. He's kind of a thug, dude.
He's kind of an Eastern European leader.
I mean, is he doing a great job protecting his country?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, he's really rising to the occasion. But
up to that point...
Even go on New York Times and the Atlantic, all these major news editors and organizations have articles even a year, 2-3 years ago about the corruptness of Ukraine.
Oh, it's completely corrupt.
Which, we can't be like, oh, Ukraine's a corrupt country, so we don't give a fuck if Russia invades.
How many U.S. politicians have children that work on energy boards there?
Oh, probably just ridiculous.
Well,
it's like a playground.
Everybody knows the Hunter Biden.
Right.
Pelosi's
sure
has a family member that works on a Ukrainian energy board.
Wow.
Mitt Romney has one.
Really?
John Kerry has one. What a coincidence that all... By the way...
So why are they all so hawkish about going to war? Why are they all like, send them those MiGs? Hey, let's see what happens. Maybe they're trying to cover their tracks.
Maybe Russia.
Hey, blow up the country. Send those MiGs.
You know what? I've always thought that Putin's got everything he needs to know on everybody.
I heard Putin's in a bunker.
And that kind of goes for what I'm going to be talking about today is...
Okay. The underlining political bullshit that's under...
People got like the goods on the other people kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So,
compromise people, you're saying.
Every politician's compromised some way or the other.
The Hunter Biden story is taking off right now.
As it should have 2 years ago.
Yeah, as it should have fucking 2 years ago.
And I'm telling you, we talked about this last night. People need to be put in jail over that.
Well, there needs to be consequences because now the precedent is sent. Oh, hey, you want to manipulate the election? Go ahead and do some shady shit and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Go ahead and fuck with our First Amendment rights, and nothing will happen to you. Yeah. You can get the election to happen how you want it to, and there will be no consequences.
Twitter, Facebook, all of them should be held accountable.
No consequences. It just
should be held accountable. I mean,
do you think that
the public flogging? I'm okay with public execution.
Do you think that like the Section 230 thing is still in effect because the people in power like to use social media as their little mercenary, you know what I mean? Because like the social media seems to be in lockstep with obviously the left. The people that work there, the C-suite executives, they're all lockstep, and they get to play outside the bounds of the U.S. government. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to say Section 230 will be repealed
after the midterms. After the midterms,
absolutely,
Maybe. Who knows? Nothing ever happens, man. Nothing ever actually happens.
Hot sports opinion. Why does everybody hate Ted Cruz so much? I freaking love Ted Cruz.
He's kind of chubby, dude.
Well, I mean, chubby?
Yeah. No, I'm just here to fat shame.
When you see him like interviewing, like the Supreme Court chick. Dude, he's just on a different level than them.
Didn't Trump say that Ted Cruz had a dog wife?
Yeah, he said his wife wasn't very good looking.
Ted Cruz is a pussy, bro. That's why no one likes him.
Then they call him Cancun Ted. Hey, if I could have gone to Cancun during the snow apocalypse, I would have too.
Bad optics. Bad optics. Okay, I understand.
Totally bad optics.
Yeah.
What was he going to do?
I get it.
U.S. senator.
No, I get it too. I get it.
He has no
There's Zelensky.
Yeah.
Staying in Ukraine. And then there's Ted Cruz going to Cancun. That's all I'm saying. I agree with you. He's a senator.
He could have done.
What the fuck? Is he going to turn the snow off?
The governor handled all of that.
But the one thing, everything is about optics. Yeah. So it's a little bit like, look at fucking AOC going to Florida. No mask. Drinking martinis.
They got COVID. That's funny.
Dun, 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 dun.
I hate her. I hate her.
I love her, dude. She's great for content.
It's all a game. Boston University should be very embarrassed and shamed that they gave that woman an economics degree.
They love it. They love it.
So Biden's poll numbers are so bad. Guess what's coming back out to talk?
COVID.
No, well, there's a new strain of COVID coming, obviously, because midterms are coming up. But, student debt suddenly.
Oh, yeah. And now we're going to take care of the student debt.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of crazy about Biden? Like, he just went to Europe. We're just off running around on topics here. But, like, he just went to Europe, which is a country, which is a presidential move that when you're in hot water with your constituents, like in your country, you go to Europe. And the Europeans love you. You know what I mean? You go do a couple good speeches around Europe, especially in wartime.
He didn't give any good speeches.
Especially during wartime with NATO at its peak. I mean, he could have gone into Europe like last week or 2 weeks ago and just crushed it and completely turned his poll numbers around.
Listen, folks.
Yes.
Listen. That's the way it is.
There will be no more nukes. Just the whisper.
We'll protect every inch of NATO.
That was a little too Texan of a whisper.
Oh,
There'll be no more nukes.
He's too, I can't go. I hate him. I dislike him very much.
You ready for Mars? Does Mars look better every day?
Oh, dude.
Maybe a little bit.
I would look at somewhere. I think I'm going to St. Thomas.
You're going to move to St. Thomas?
It's still America-ish.
Yeah.
But it's still in the Caribbean.
You know what I don't understand?
And they use dollars.
Hot sports opinion.
Okay.
How come these countries, like Mexico, I'm goofing here, but how come Mexico can't turn their shit around and make us all want to move there? It's because of the corruption and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But don't you wish, like I was talking to my partner, she's from Mexico, and I was like, don't you wish that Mexico was better? No, my work partner.
Oh, not your life partner?
No, my work partner, you dick. But we just, I was just like, wouldn't it be nice if every part of Mexico was as nice as, Allen, North Texas, you know what I mean? What if everybody just stopped with the corruption for like 5 years?
Y'all pave some streets.
And we just paid some taxes and we just actually built the roads. You know what I mean? Just like build the road.
There's no reason that Mexico should be like that. Canada's not like that. Why is Mexico like that?
And both Canada's top people in power and Mexico's top people in power take all the money and use it for themselves anyways.
Boy.
So,
by the way, this Ukrainian war, big win for Justin Trudeau.
Yeah. By the way,
you don't even talk about him anymore. And he was
no.
Actually, I sent you that video of
them yelling at each other, right?
Of the European NATO members.
You never sent it to me, but I looked it up and I realized it was like a 9-hour event, so I couldn't find the one because obviously YouTube is not going to highlight a video of.
They just calling him.
What happened? Tell everybody what happened. So give the whole story.
So I believe it was it wasn't NATO. It
EU.
Was the EU Parliament. Mm-hmm. And they get up, they give their little speeches, and about 3 or 4 of them got up and just lambasted Trudeau.
Oh, really?
Calling him a tyrant, a dictator.
Because he was on a visit and they were having Ukraine talks and stuff. He was sitting in the room. Yeah.
And they're like, you are the biggest dictator in North America.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and he's like, thank you very much for those.
I got one. I saw a TikTok of him walking like in the street, with all his secret, and he walks by these people. Right, like off to the side.
Yeah.
This guy like, you're a motherfucker, you piece of shit.
Yeah. He's just screaming at
and he
Trudeau.
looks at the guy and he's like, thank you.
Trudeau does?
Yeah.
Wow.
He keeps walking.
Have you seen, I don't know if we played him on the podcast, but those videos of Trudeau getting like completely ignored by Trump.
Yeah.
Where he's like, they're at like a dinner party, right? So there's kind of this like grouping of like round tables everywhere. And he's like trying to position himself in the right way so that, when Trump walks by and Trump just like goes to some random bloke,
I can't believe that Trudeau,
I said that because it's European talk,
I can't believe we haven't gotten the Trudeau Fidel Castro's thing yet. That was
Tucker.
Tucker did.
Tucker.
It was like kind of.
And if Tucker says it, it's true.
If you do not believe that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Prime Minister. Yeah. What the fuck? What are you confused on here?
They're not president. If he is not the love child of Fidel Castro of Cuba, do your research.
Go check it out.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but it does not take a lot to look like, yeah, that happened.
I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, and it happened.
Just put their pictures side by side. His parents were swingers.
This just in: Trudeau's dad built the pyramids. Okay.
No, but it's
No, so he did. He's the biggest winner of this war
because
for sure.
he was enemy number one,
right? Because the whole trucker
you don't
convoy was
anything
happening,
about that
and that's kind of a bummer that they took. You know, that was really getting hot.
That was oh yeah.
It's kind of weird in Canada though, because like the cops don't have guns and like the people don't have guns, so it's like
sure me.
Oh, get off me road!
I
Hey,
don't know. They were.
I saw some citizens yelling at the truckers. You know, having what do they call it? Like
That's probably in Quebec.
Yeah,
the rest of Canada hates Quebec.
Having like a full on meltdown.
We've had that discussion.
Yeah.
Quebec is the Los Angeles of Canada.
Hot sports opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, the Ukraine war. I'm already bored. Like, what are they doing? Are we fighting? Are we not fighting? Are we in peace talks? Are we not in peace talks? Are we at a stalemate? Like, I mean, because stalemates usually in history turn into more atrocious actions. Like when conflict is, you know, really gridlocked. That's when people start being more atrocious to each other. But like, I mean, in the last week, I haven't heard a thing.
I thought you know what my biggest takeaway from the Ukraine war is?
The Ukraine goes hard.
Ukraine does go hard.
They go hard.
Definitely,
hard as fuck. Those little yellow armbands, great choice.
Tanks are useless.
Tanks are done.
That's why the Marine Corps has been trying to get rid of tanks for decades now.
Do you want to watch some Ukraine footage?
Oh, dude, I saw some. This guy made a 3-minute
compilation
of just
some shit.
I mean,
like blown up,
like blown up Russians.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's like fried.
Is it bad?
Russians.
Like, so there's a subreddit we'll look at in a little bit, but like, I'm okay with like seeing people that get hurt, but like, I don't like watching people get shot. But if it's from like CCTV from a Predator drone, I'll watch the shit out of it, especially when it's like the infrared and you can only see the heat and then like shoot them and all of a sudden it's like heat.
So
it's
like
body parts. Like,
remember all those Americans that went over there to fight?
Yeah.
You can follow them on TikTok now.
Really?
They blew up 7 Russian tanks the other day.
Just for fun, dude. Those guys are having a blast.
Oh yeah, they're like in all their like tactical gear with their big old beards now.
Think about a bunch of 35-year-old pro airsoft gun guys.
No, these are like former Rangers.
Yeah, I'm just joking,
like
but
Marines. like this. Let's go do this.
I always say, and I said it at breakfast, like if I didn't have the life I had now, I would live in a van. I think if I was to have like stayed in sports and, you know, be by myself and I was still nice and healthy, I might go to Ukraine for some fun.
Those dudes are having a blast.
Well, it's crazy. This is a really weird war because it's finally when the country we're fighting has smartphones. Is that bad to say?
Yeah.
We're finally 2 countries with smartphones are now interacting, and we're seeing footage.
This is the first war where countries have gone at it. Not a country versus an ideology.
Right, yes.
Like actual physical countries.
Yeah.
You're in a uniform, I'm in a uniform.
Right.
Going at it with video, with iPhones.
And then with all the markings of like, you know, modern day society. Yeah, the video is crazy. The amount of video. I saw this video of this guy, and he's just a dude. He's just sitting there smoking a cigarette, talking in Ukrainian or maybe even Russian because they usually 90% of them speak Russian. So he's sitting there talking, smoking a cigarette outside, and all of a sudden blows.
Yeah.
And you literally see the missile like crash and explode, and he just like and he just like runs into his bomb bunker and he lives. But it's like Michael Bay movie. Like it's real. The explosions are real. When the buildings blow up and all the windows blow out, like that's not just Hollywood.
Putin's
like, that's
not
real
going to
stuff.
find a way out of this. He's
Putin's
even
fucked.
if technically he wins, he's going to get put up on war crimes.
He's fucked.
He'll never leave the continental.
No. He's fucked, dude.
Yeah.
No country will want to even be. So you were saying
China.
No, you were saying about China and how they're going to be buddies. China's been distancing themselves. They have been playing this double line like they don't want to condemn the sanctions, but they don't want to get sanctions, you know, because if China was to say high five Russia, we would sanction them instantly. And I think the second that happens,
definitely playing both sides of it.
The second that happens is when Taiwan gets taken.
China would love to see the U.S. and NATO get pulled into a war,
right? And then
that would just do whatever they want to do,
control the markets, like do whatever they want. You know what I mean? If we were so focused on war, like food supplies, they've already got all the batteries. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
What? A president should make America great again by having all the stuff manufactured in the United States.
Trump could have done that too.
No, he tried.
But he didn't.
Oh, he did a lot. A
lot of
Hey,
I got it.
A lot of manufacturing was coming home. You can't just like, hey, you got to build the plants and and everything else.
Biden signed that semiconductor factory and now that new battery factory. So
I don't think. Did Biden have anything to do? That was private enterprise.
Did Trump have anything to actually do with his private enterprise?
Yes, he did.
Well, okay. I'm just trying to point out that it doesn't just take
You're
everything.
coming at with not knowing what you're talking about is what you're coming at there.
I see. I'm just saying that, I mean, the face mask and all the stuff, we had a lot of issues towards the end of Trump.
That was Trump's entire presidency was bringing things back.
No, I got it.
You can't say that. That is not Biden's.
No, I'm just saying Trump also, could have brought more stuff back.
He can only bring back what they'll bring back.
Right. I mean, because it is private. He has to create the regulations to incentivize people to come in. It's not just like stamping it and saying you're coming back. Obviously, you have to put legislation in process.
But
I don't know what the fuck
doing that.
either of them put in. Honestly, I'm just sitting here poking you, trying to get your blood pressure up.
You're not getting my blood pressure up.
I can tell.
I'm on blood pressure medicine. So,
what's the first thing we're gonna go to, Kelly?
We can do on this day.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Let's do on this day.
It's on this day, April 2nd.
Oh, today's April 2nd. Happy April Fools.
That was yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
It's actually April 3rd, but we're going to go with April 2nd.
Oh.
Because that's when I did it.
April Fools, it's April 3rd.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
April 2nd, 1513.
Columbus.
Explorer,
yeah.
Juan Ponce de Leon.
Do people get mad at him? His first name is Juan.
Claims Florida for Spain as the first known European to reach Florida.
How come?
So was he a colonizer?
Yeah. How come no one gets mad at Juan? What's his name?
Ponce de Leon.
Juan Ponce de Leon. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
What about all the Native Americans he took down?
See the thing just fell down?
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
that's not good for production.
All right. 1792 on this day, April 2nd.
1792, America was made.
This is on here because I found this very interesting. The Coinage Act is passed, establishing the United States Mint.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
And authorizing, I've never heard of these. Are you ready? The $10 coin, which was called the Eagle.
I've seen him.
Have you? Okay.
Not in person.
The $5 half eagle.
Is it half an eagle?
So
it's like
the $2.50 quarter eagle gold coins.
Same question.
I've seen a silver dollar.
Yeah.
I've seen obviously a $50, quarter, dime, and half. Oh, I guess they didn't do fucking pennies. No.
Pennies didn't show up till Abraham Lincoln.
Get rid of pennies. We should just get rid of pennies, anyways.
Yeah.
Should get rid of nickels too, probably.
I thought you said something else.
They should get rid of. Whoa. On this day, April 2nd, moving along, 1877, the first human cannonball act was performed by,
That's
are you
awesome.
ready?
A midget.
14-year-old.
What?
Rosa Matilda, we're going to go with Richter.
Okay.
She was known as Zazelle.
French?
At the Royal Aquarium in London. Who would shoot a 14-year-old out of a rocket for the first time?
Someone's dad who's a carny. It probably should have been like her dad was the carny. Like
I found that.
That's crazy, dude.
When was that?
And you know what?
1877.
They didn't, because we just watched Jackass Forever, and they do the scene where they
wieners.
Lots of wieners. They launch
Johnny
Knoxville out of that cannon, and that's a very well put. You even made the comment. You're like, "Wow, that worked."
He had the wings on. He's
like that worked really well.
Yeah.
Do you think that the 1877 first human cannon launch was nearly as good as the modern day?
Do you think they shot a goat out first to see what would happen?
God damn! Its legs they just break the legs and just.
Anyways,
wow.
On this day, April 2nd, 1935. Are you ready?
That's bad times.
Scottish physicist.
Good times.
Robert
Watson
Watt.
Watson what? The Watts.
received a British patent for
I don't know.
radar. Do you think the patent office saw him coming?
That's the only reason.
Was he on the radar? Was he on their radar? That's the only reason I put that on there. So do
you think they knew he was coming? God damn. Sorry, GD, my bad.
April 2nd, 1976.
Okay.
The Portuguese.
Portuguean.
No, Portuguese.
Okay. Oh, jeez. We got things falling all over the place over here.
I can't talk. The Portuguese Constitution is assumed.
Is assumed. You know what happens when you assume things, right?
That's like
you make an ass out of you and me.
That's like why they assuming I have rights? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that there's a constitution.
All right. Birthdays, born on this day, breathing. I got this guy on here because he is. I watch a lot of Viking movies.
Yeah,
like
Ragnar shit,
movie.
right?
And he is the, like, how can I say this? He's the person that all conquerors are pitted against. Like, he was
Genghis Khan.
not besides Genghis
Oh,
Khan,
like okay.
European conquerors.
Okay.
1742, Charlemagne was born.
Yeah, Charlemagne.
First Holy Roman Emperor.
Is he in all the shows you watch?
They like, oh, who do you think you are? Charlemagne.
Oh, okay.
You're going to be the greatest conqueror since Charlemagne.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. 1805, born on this day, breathing, Hans Christian Andersen.
I'm going to say he's a composer.
He's a Danish author. Known
Damn it, I was
for
close.
fairy tales.
Okay. Hansel and Gretel.
I don't think maybe. The Ugly Duckling. That's him.
Wait, hold on. What year? 1803?
1805.
He's like, oh yeah, let's write a book about the ugly duckling.
Jerky.
He's got a little kid. He's like, and then the ugliest little duckling went to bed. Good night.
Born on this day, breathing out of his mother's hoo-ha.
Whoa.
1875. Walter Chrysler.
The Walter Chrysler?
American
of the
automotive pioneer from the
Wow.
Chrysler Corporation.
Okay, when think about now,
Is
like
Chrysler still around?
yeah, Chrysler Jeep.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah, they make cars. Chrysler makes cars,
so it's like they're like a Ford.
but they also own like 9 different car
That's okay.
brands. I think they own like No, I think Toyota owns Scion, but like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
they own like
Dodge.
Dodge,
or
exactly.
whatever.
Chrysler, Dodge, like they're always connected. You know.
Got
what I
you.
mean?
All right. Okay. Born on this day, do you know who Rodney King is?
I know who Rodney King is.
Born
I grew up in Southern
1965.
California. I know who Rodney King is.
black motorist beaten by LA cops. That's what he's known for. He was born in Sacramento.
There's a great song.
Oh, he
about him.
died 2012. No way.
Some great songs about him, man.
Oh yeah.
I was just looking at the Ford. Oh,
Like Plymouth is Chrysler.
yeah. We're just looking at cars right now.
Chrysler. Oh, okay, they do have
The,
like
the
their
300, they got the 300.
Yeah.
So they have probably 3 cars, but then they own Dodge and they own all the other like
Gotcha.
Jeep and stuff.
And those are 3 cars are probably a Dodge something else with a different name on them.
Right. Well, no, this is a Chrysler. So Dodge doesn't make a car like this, and I don't think I've ever
Saying like a GMC Yukon is the same thing as a Chevy Tahoe.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
It's the
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly. Right. Anyways.
Dead on this day, no longer breathing. This guy's on here because since I've been doing this, I have found like the old kings who got their cool names.
Right.
This guy's got a solid one.
Like a good nickname.
Like a good
Yeah.
dead on this day, 1416. Ferdinand I, the righteous.
That's better than the wrong.
He was the king of Aragon and Sicily. He died at the age of 52.
That is a good nickname to have. Dying as the righteous, you're gonna stick in history.
Yeah.
Except for this is the first time I've ever heard of him. So
Yeah, but I just like we always got. We always say we don't have enough of these.
right. Yeah.
sheiks
We don't have
or-
enough righteous.
Yeah, anyways.
Ain't that the truth?
Are you ready? Dead on this day, 1872.
Morse code. Morse.
Samuel Morse,
Samuel. I'm so smart.
American painter and inventor of the electric telegraph and Morse code.
What an amazing invention.
Oh, for that time? Absolutely. Yeah.
Even for now, too. Shit. None of you guys could get that thing working.
Dead on this day. My favorite pope.
The first pope.
Dead on April 2nd, 2005. Pope Saint.
The best.
I say my favorite pope because he's just pretty much the pope during my entire childhood.
One last guess.
Good.
Pope Saint the Favorite?
No.
Oh.
Favorite.
Yeah, maybe that was his Italian.
No.
Maybe that was he was
No,
the
John
favorite.
Paul II.
Why is he your favorite pope?
I just said he was like a pope for like 20-some years. I mean, like all through my childhood.
Oh, during your
Just,
time. This isn't like ancient
growing up.
times.
No,
Oh,
no.
My bad.
He died in 2005.
I didn't hear that
So-
the year. Gotcha.
So like probably 85 to 2005. I think I'm not Catholic by any means, but I find it super awesome and interesting. Like when a pope dies,
Uh-huh. And
Like,
the whole
like,
process. Now one just fell on your side too.
dude, all these things are falling off.
Well, it's been a month. It's been a month since we podcasted.
Did you see it fall off on
Yeah,
the
I
camera?
did. And it was the top. It was the top checkered, and it hit and kind of spun, hit the next one and spun. It actually looked kind of.
Oh,
cool.
that one's about to fall right behind you, right there. All right,
Okay,
and
we'll
that's
just let
it.
it
That's
happen.
on this day.
All right, on this day, hell yeah.
So what do you got, Carter?
Okay, so I wanted to transition, actually a smooth transition, because you were doing on this day, and you didn't respond to the text message I sent you the other day. The Wikipedia link. Did you look at it?
I looked at it. It was some dude. Yeah.
Did you understand it? Okay, we're gonna go to it.
Yeah.
So Madison and I were working on CJ's baby book the other day.
Oh, exciting.
And one of the questions, no, just because we have this baby book and it's got like all the like places you should fill out, and he's 8 months old now, and we haven't done any of it, and so we kind of sat down and we both like did a page or whatever, and one of the questions was, I share this birthday with these famous people, and so I start diving into all the famous people he shares a birthday with. William Poole. Do you know who he is? Hold on.
I just read the first line, so now I don't know who he is, but
You don't know who Bill the Butcher is?
He's not a good dude.
He's Daniel Day-Lewis's character in Gangs of New York.
Oh, that's
How awesome is that? So CJ, my son, July 24th is his birthday, and I was looking it up, and William Poole. Oh, I'm not showing it on the screen. I'm an idiot. William Poole,
local leader of the Know Nothing political movement. I love
he was
it.
also a part of the Whig movement. They brought him in, which I think Andrew Jackson was a part of the Whig, the Whigs,
Yeah.
the Whigs, right?
So was that whole Gangs of New York? I mean, was there? That was not saying that's the way it happened, but was it something along?
So
that?
yeah, let me go to, hold on real quick. So he's got this whole, I mean, check him out. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't know shit. I'm not going to act like I know what I'm talking about. I just thought that if you have not seen Gangs of New York, it's a great movie, and my son has the same birthday as this guy.
The Dead Rabbits. Yeah. So this is all
it's
Irish versus Germans.
It's Irish versus Germans. He was Irish. Something, I forget where he was born. But the 5 points, you remember the 5 points is where they go and they fight. Dude, New York back then in the 1800s was crazy. There was so many people in such a small space, and that had never happened before. And just the amount of cultures being forced into each other had never happened, because that always turns into war, right? I mean, over all of human history, if the Celts are walking in onto the Romans, you guys are going to battle because you're not the same person. But in New York, you were like, well, we can't just outright kill each other, so maybe we'll go and fight each other in the streets.
Everybody hated the Irish too for some reason.
The Irish, because they came over in troves. They're just millions of them in a matter of years, and then they created these little neighborhoods. But so I don't really know a whole lot about this guy, but I did look into his political views.
Oh, he's a Democrat.
And
oh no, he detested the. All right,
my boy.
I'm team William Poole already.
But I was reading, so. Poole and the Bally Boys were de facto extensions of the Know Nothings. They were like the enforcers and made sure they would hang out in front of voting booths and like fuck people up. And like if they saw like someone of a different neighborhood coming in, they knew they were going to vote for the different party. They'd go and they rough them up a little bit. Like back then, you think that we have problems now? And this guy's the orchestrator for like all of
Catholics
this.
Either.
No, they did not like the Catholics, and they were the fire department. So if you look at
your shit would just burn down.
So because back in the 1800s, these neighborhoods would catch on fire. It would take the entire neighborhood to pull them out. Actually, there's a scene in Gangs of New York where they're putting out fires.
I'm going to watch that movie
It's
again.
It's a fantastic movie, but it's like 4.5 hours long. So the last part I wanted to go to was the... so hold on. The film. It says Daniel Day-Lewis played a heavily fictionized version of Bill the Butcher named William Cutting. But you know how those movies go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a Martin Scorsese film. It's a Martin Scorsese film, and so he's gonna dress it up and make it. But it's a amazing movie. So there you go. My son doesn't have your soul. He has Bill the Butcher's soul. But yeah, that's him right there. William Poole.
It's a dapper gentleman right there.
I wish people would draw less like that.
Very solid stash.
Solid stash. Great. No beard.
Yeah.
Clean shaven.
Very dapper.
What's his weapon in
dude
in the movie?
Probably a chain
It's an
or something.
axe. I think it's like an axe because he's the butcher.
So they would just go around just like...
Yeah, they would just go around and do... I'm going to go to the Gangs of New York. I want to see. Nah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I think it was like an axe or something. Anyways, so that's... I thought that was really interesting.
That is pretty cool.
CJ's birthday is on Bill the
What famous
Butcher.
people are born on your birthday?
I have no idea.
I have... Sugar Ray Leonard is born on my birthday. The lead singer from NXS. What's his name?
NXS?
No. What's his name? You know who else is born on my birthday? Bill Paxton was born on my birthday. Rest in R.I.P. I love Bill Paxton.
Football player?
No. Actor.
Oh.
What's the tornado movie?
Twister. The main
guy.
character.
It's
Okay.
Bill Paxton.
Okay, cool. I follow. I'm cool. I'm hip.
He just dropped dead one day.
We're going to go to... My birthday is December 9th. So
Okay.
let's check it out.
Oh, Kendall Vert. No. I have no... Don't know.
Don't
Is
know.
this on the screen?
Yeah, this is on the
I don't know.
The first 9 or the
yet.
first 12. See, this was the first site we went to the other day. And
hold on. I still don't know, buddy. I've seen that guy.
she's from James
MI,
Bond.
Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
yeah. Kirk Douglas.
This website's a little weird. Kirk Douglas.
She was an Olympian.
Nice. What about Trey Cool?
No, I don't know.
Okay, we're going to go to a more reputable website. This looks like the Global Inquirer. I need something with an actual header. There we go. This is looking like a real...
Oh, boy, that looks vaguely familiar.
Oh, is this... You're ruining your sources. Now anyone can take our podcast and just redo it.
That looks vaguely familiar.
So,
John Milton.
English poet and Puritan.
As you see...
Not enough Puritans.
How many things that I have to go through to
you had to
pick
go and
out,
read them all.
To find out who, okay.
So you just kind of randomly 1754.
Or can I create a joke about that?
Yeah,
somehow?
yeah, sure.
But if it's somebody I like, no, absolutely.
Dude, Russian activists and anarchists. Pyotr Alexeyevich Goropichkin.
Carol Kovalevich.
I
Get
love
down
that.
to normal.
Okay, normal
years.
time. Get back to real numbers.
Clarence
okay?
Birdseye saw a very good thing on the History Channel about him, how he invented frozen food.
Oh, was he a
the
part of the
flash freezing of food?
I might be wrong, but I also watched the History Channel. Mm-hmm. Was that a part of the Foods That Made of America?
Foods that created
on History Channel. They have a segment on him. I think I've seen it.
And the lady, he was about to go broke.
Yeah.
And the lady who saved him was the daughter of the Post cereal.
Oh, Post cereal.
Post cereal.
Yeah, sure.
What do you call them?
Like Empire.
Family
yeah,
Empire.
Yeah.
Saw his greatness.
Uh-huh.
And so how he's known for flash freezing. Of
Right. And
how he did it, he was kind of like an adventure guy. Mm-hmm. And he was up in like let's just say the North Pole, the Arctic somewhere. And he was just like living his mountain man dream.
He's just doing his thing. Yeah.
And I think he came from a fairly good family.
Yeah.
But he had caught some fish. And, when he pulled them out, they flash freeze immediately because the air temperature is so cold where he was.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and he like discovered it. He was like,
so he
whoa.
brought him back to his cabin and he threw the frozen fish in the pan and the fish started flopping because it wasn't dead. And he was a very educated man.
Whoa, that's crazy.
He's like, because if you go back into like the early 1900s, like all the food was sold in like brown bottles.
Of course, because you didn't want to tell if it was spoiled or not.
He was the first person who's like, we can freeze all this stuff and then use it when we want.
That's when that ketchup, the guy who made Heinz ketchup, right? He had a clear bottle, right?
That's one reason he put his shit in a clear bottle.
Right, because it was like, this is fresh. It's good. Yes. That's interesting.
And so the whole Kellogg's Post one, go watch that.
Yeah. No, I've seen that one and the Hershey's and then the Heinz ketchup one. But great show.
But he was about to go because he had.
And then he started a trucking company, right? They would put like on trucks.
The problem is nobody had freezers in their house in 1910.
Right. They barely had electricity.
So but she saw the genius.
I remember that. So I think I've seen some of that, but I forgot about how we figured that out. That's like, they always say like 90% of things that are engineered is getting climate to the right degree. It's either making things hotter, making things cooler, or keeping temperature. That's like such a huge part of engineering. Like this guy was like, hey, let's fucking freeze it. That's crazy. So he like took a fish out and it was like -5 or something.
And it just immediately froze.
Wow. That's
and then he threw it in the pot to like cook it and it warmed the fish up. The fish started flopping around.
That must have been fucked. He's like,
what the hell?
Kill it quick.
Anyways,
all right, a couple more.
You should watch the History Channel, the foods that created America. And right now they're doing the Candy Wars.
Like Mars?
Like Mars.
Wait, I share a birthday with Grace Hopper.
All right.
Do you know who she is?
No.
She is such a big proponent of the computer science world that we live in. She worked on the Harvard Mark I, but she was a Navy officer. She was a Commodore in the Navy. And they brought her in to work at like IBM and these businesses and kind of like oversee the governmental side of everything. She's the reason we have executable files.
She's credited with coining the phrase debugging.
Yes, debugging, because she actually they used to capture bugs inside the Harvard Mark I, the ENIAC. They're like room-sized computers, right? Yeah. And an actual bug flew in. And when now your program doesn't work, and they're like, oh, it's because we found this bug. And then she put it in her journal and wrote it. I've researched her a bunch. I didn't know, but I did know her birthday was on mine. Cool. This is actually November 9th.
She means nothing to me.
She means everything to me. I want to put a picture of her.
Did she have a Hotmail account?
She is the reason you are able to have a Hotmail account.
I've had the same Hotmail account for 25 years, 26 years.
She's dead now.
It happens.
Anyways.
So that's the thing I go to.
This is cool. This is a cool website, man.
Oh, yeah.
I have to check it out more. Anyways. What do you got going on in your life, Kelly?
I have cancer.
Oh, fuck.
That's the real reason we haven't been here for. Well, full disclosure.
Okay, so you got cancer. Sure. I didn't know if you want to talk about it. Shit. Okay.
I don't care.
Kelly has cancer, guys.
So first time we took after 3 months ago, we took a week off, just like let's take a break.
And then you went on vacation.
And then the following week, I got my diagnosis.
And then we were like, maybe we're not really in the mood.
We're not really in the mood to do a podcast. And then the following week, I went on vacation. And then the following week after that, you were on vacation. I was gone 2 weeks, 2 weekends.
And then I was gone a weekend.
And then you were gone 2 weekends.
So it was like,
we're here.
Yeah, so it's been a whole ordeal. But yeah, Kelly's got cancer.
I got a little lymphoma, but the chemo's taking care of it pretty well, I think.
You had your first round of chemo last week.
And it just knocked the
So we've known for about a month, right?
Yeah.
Right around a month.
Actually, I didn't want to. You're talking about, I called February 22nd was the day that was the day I also got my cancer diagnosis.
I also forgot about that because I'm sitting there like watching world news, like waiting for some shit to happen, which it was happening. And then
it's funny. I remember talking to the nurse about it in the thing.
You called me or Madison called me and Madison called me and she told me and I was like, whoa, that was crazy because it's like cancer, that happens to other people.
Yeah.
Like, now I know someone with fucking cancer.
Long story short,
we don't have
for our 14 listeners.
For all of our family out there.
I just had a regular colonoscopy because I'm turning 50 in May, and I kind of felt something was going on with my stomach, right? Like something wasn't right.
Yeah, you had like a consistent pain.
Yeah, like I had like a pain, and Madison finally, my daughter's like, just go to the friggin' doctor, dude.
Right.
So I went to a gastroenterologist, and he's like, well, let's do it. You're 49 and 9/10.
Yeah, let's get it.
You know, you're due for a colonoscopy at 50 anyways. So we did a colonoscopy. And I came out of it, I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole mood of the room was like, not good. I'm
Not happy. No high fives being done.
I'm like, all right. They're like, I'm like, everything's awesome, right? And they're like, doctor will be in a minute. I'm like, well, this isn't good.
Yeah. You know from that moment.
So he comes on, he's like, well, we found a mass in your large intestine, and it's most likely cancer. We took a biopsy. So I'm like, and I'm kind of the guy like, hey, I got ass cancer. You know? I'm joking about it.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
it's the only way that we get through anything is by making fun of it.
I
right?
literally will make fun of me having cancer.
Yeah. So not alopecia, though.
No,
can't say anything about having alopecia.
Keep alopecia out of your mouth.
Hey, get my fucking alopecia in your mouth. What? I mean,
so long story short, they took the biopsy, and like the whole time, I'm like, I think like you have colon cancer.
yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy hit.
And then so the biopsy came back, and I have an oncologist, and he's like, you don't have colon cancer. Well, you were with me that first night we met my oncologist.
Yes.
And he's like, well, we suspect you have colon cancer, but back up the next day, they had me do a CT scan. And so when I met the oncologist, he's like, well, we think you have colon cancer from the biopsy because they haven't got the biopsy results yet back, but you definitely have lymphoma right there.
Which is it passing through the colon.
And he's like, so I remember you and I were like, what?
We both looked at it because you were on like a video conference with your oncologist.
And Carter was sitting across from me.
And I was there listening.
And I'm like, you hear words like lymphoma.
Right.
But
that's what people have marathons for.
Yeah, like people donate to that. Right. But my oncologist is like, no, that's the easy part.
He was so chill. I was like, man, you need to be a little bit more hyped right now for this. I mean, we're talking cancer. We're going through something really important.
Literally, he goes, that's the easy part.
He said, Kelly, lymphoma? No problem. I was like, what the fuck?
Super easy. So
what should we be worried about?
He's like, don't worry about that. So the biopsy came back, and I don't have colon cancer, which was a very good thing. Woo! I can remember my gastroenterologist telling me, like, you don't have colon cancer, you have lymphoma. And I'm like, huh? He's like, I remember him saying, believe it or not, that's the best news you could have gotten today.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise. So then I had to go do a PET scan. We're going to, next week.
Let's bring it.
I'm going to do a whole, we can show all my stuff, but I don't care. We're going to do a whole thing on what a scam insurance is.
Okay, yeah, sure. Oh my God. Listening to you talk about all the cancer, I'm like, what the fuck?
I have a medication that's $120,000.
That is so fucked up.
Unless you have a little card that they can give you, and it's only like $1,000 then.
Little card? What's that? Like an insurance card?
Like little insurance
like
card.
A special dairy insurance card? Like kind of when you go shopping at Kroger and they give you the membership little ticket?
That anybody can get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So all these people are like, I got cancer, give me money, go to my GoFund. No, there's a lot of things that you can do for free. Anyways, I have good insurance.
Anyways, so if you want to donate to Kelly's cancer, please go to my GoFundMe. So I've set up a Venmo. It will be in the link.
Yeah, it's just go straight to him. I have good insurance, so I'm pretty good. But so then I had to do a PET scan, which is the full body scan.
Right. Slicing you. That's crazy stuff.
Me. And so then they found lymphoma, which is kind of good. I mean, all over, like not all over, like 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 more places.
Right. So you have stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma at a high level. Of course, you were telling me the very specific diagnosis.
So people are like, ooh, stage 3, stage 4. Yeah. No, that's not how that works at all. Right. I've always thought that too.
Yeah. I didn't know either until I looked it up.
Stage 4 cancer does not mean that you are in the last stages and your cancer has progressed so badly.
Right. Like at 5, you're dead. That is not what that means.
No. Stage 4 means it's all about the location in your body, how many different locations it is, you know. So my doctor, I'm like, my oncologist, his name's Akbar. I'm not going to say his last name.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, you have stage 3. We found it up in your upper chest and your clavicles. And I'm like, he's like, it's going to zap it no matter where it is.
Right. Yeah, with the chemo and everything.
He's like,
he was like, whatever.
He's literally telling me, like, don't worry about it. It's going to just zap wherever in your whole body is going to zap it. So I'm like, so then I had to do a bone marrow tap.
My mom told me I needed to go with Kelly for that to be there in support, and I chose not to because I don't fucking care.
Oh my God.
Was it great? Did you have a good time?
They stick a needle in your back to your hip bone. And I can remember him saying, all right, I'm numbing your bone now. And all I hear is.
You hear it, or do you feel it? Like you radiate through your body.
Maybe like
not feel it, but when you feel that that contact,
So they stick a needle.
I'm going to the procedure pics because I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Ooh, show the one with the butt.
Yeah. So they go into your hip bone and they stick a needle and they pull out. Like, look at the size of the needle they grab out of there.
God.
They several needles. And they take a biopsy. And
so it's kind of, no. These are just, I don't think those are needles. I think it's just one needle.
That's what they pull out, and they clip a piece of your bone on the way out, too.
Gosh darn, dude.
Oh, you're numbed up. Yeah.
That's a nice ass.
But
dude.
You know what's funny is?
Did they have you naked like that, or they put a blanket
No, he just pulled my boxers down.
I'm just kidding.
Actually,
Sir, I'm going to need you to
picture.
get completely naked.
But they, yeah, that was quite painful. They're like, you're numbed up. I'm like, you're pulling stuff out of my hip bone that's going to hurt.
Not going to feel great.
It was horrible.
Yeah. And like something I've learned through all this, just a little side note, is like everybody who knows someone who has had cancer or who has had cancer has completely different reactions to all of these different stages.
Yes.
Whether it's the initial them telling you of cancer, that bone marrow tap, or the chemo, every single person reacts differently because we know people like Jeffrey, like our friend, had said that he had a procedure and he was like, "Oh, it's nothing." And then you had one a couple weeks later.
Yeah,
and
he
it was
told me, he's like, "Oh, it doesn't hurt."
Yeah,
that hurts like I'm on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It feels great. He's in the rough
But you know,
stuff.
ironically, the next day,
yeah.
or even that day,
No pain. Yeah.
no pain.
It's the during thing. There's no lasting.
There's probably not a lot of nerves inside your bones.
Right.
But the good news from that was the cancer hadn't reached my bones yet.
That's awesome.
Which my doctor once again said, it don't matter what's in your bones or not. Look what's going to kill it.
Isn't that kind of crazy now that I'm just thinking about they took it from like your hip, but if they would be able to be like, oh yeah, it's in your bones somewhere.
Well,
because then they would have to go and find it. Right?
No.
Oh, no?
So, and I'm not saying I'm a doctor, and I'm not saying this is
You're pretty good at MDing yourself.
So I am pretty good at web
I was like,
MDing
I think
myself.
I have colon cancer. Yeah, it turns out.
I did. That's what. But the lymph nodes, they're all about helping the white blood cells and the red blood cells push themselves. I think it's more the white blood cells.
Okay.
Moving them around the body.
Your red blood cells are mostly through those things called veins.
Yeah.
Right.
And so and I think basically what I have is leukemia. It's a blood cancer disease.
Oh, shit.
But it's like, when you hear leukemia 30 years ago, you're like, now you're like,
Really?
I mean, my doctor's like, you're going to be fine. Just go through. So I have had 8 rounds of chemo. I've already had one.
You just had your first one on Tuesday.
Last Tuesday. And it knocked.
How was that?
So I had to have a port put in my chest. That's where they plug everything in. And it doesn't hurt.
Rock solid.
Even the next day, sure. Like, this doesn't really hurt.
They use a crazy glue to
we went out. They put this thing in my chest.
Yeah.
And it has a catheter that goes to a vein that leads straight to my aorta.
I wonder if that's why your heart rate's been jumping a little bit.
I don't know.
You got like a new little guy right there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
might
Your
be
body's probably just like, yo, what the fuck?
So it didn't hurt. We literally went to pizza after I got it put in.
I went and had a whole sloppy thing of greasy ribs right afterwards. It was awesome.
I'm telling you, this whole cancer trip is a different. So I had
give you a new perspective on things.
Turning 50 in
Yeah.
May.
Sure.
Also,
Right.
But then when your life, I mean, I'm not going to lie. There are a couple times when nobody was around.
Right.
I put on a very strong face.
Of course. Yeah. Sure.
I'm kind of tearing up a little bit right now, but I've lost it.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, you're going through something that, first off, none of us have gone through. It puts your world in perspective.
I mean, what's important all of a sudden?
Yeah, exactly. So. You got to focus on the things that matter. But you know what? You're going through it strong, and you're doing great. And all the news that we've gotten from the doctors has only been the best possible news we can get, right?
Like I had to have an endoscopy done.
Right.
Everything's great going that way.
Right.
It's not in your bones.
Right.
You know, they're like, you're getting cancer, but yeah, you're going to be okay.
You're getting like weak ass cancer. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, when he texted us, so we have like a little group chat, and like you were saying about, you know, Kelly, he would text us and he was like, oh, you know, whatever. By the way, it's actually non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. My doctor said that's a really good sign. And my first response is, wow, Kelly, you can't even do cancer right. You know what I mean?
And
So
I think that's funny. You got to laugh through all this.
You have to, because you know what? Something that I've heard just from however I've heard it, you know, people who have had cancers and gotten through it, the thing that they always say is perspective and your emotion, your outward emotion. Good emotion is the best thing you can do. Positive energy.
Morgan told me babies laughing cures cancer.
CJ's laughter is pretty good. So, I mean, that's good.
But so I had chemo for the first time. That's quite the experience. Like all these people in there and like 30 people in this room. We all have cancer, so I'm not special in this room.
Right. That's kind of cool, though. That's kind of
I mean, just
Madison came, took care of you. She brought you some good stuff.
My children have been, and you have been phenomenal through this. So
I haven't done anything.
It's good. Feel fine.
Yeah.
So I had it, what is this, 4 or 5 days for my first round?
Yeah.
And that first night I came back and slept for 20 hours.
Yeah, I know.
The next day I slept for 12 hours.
Well, Madison and I, because we don't live here, so, you know, we're texting Morgan, Madison's little sister, and we're like, hey, how's Kelly? And she'd be like, he's still asleep. And none of us have been through chemo. None of us know anyone who's been through it. And so we're kind of like freaking out over here. Like, fuck, you need to wake up and eat. And because you do need to wake up and eat. But I came over that one day.
I've been forcing myself to eat. I'm not really hungry, but I've been forcing myself.
You know, I think it kind of snowballs too, because when I came over on Wednesday or Thursday, and you were on the couch and then you woke up, you were up with me for a couple hours, but I think it snowballed because you hadn't eaten enough where your blood sugar was low, and so that made you even more tired because you drank a Coca-Cola, and you're like, I never do this.
I never drink Coke.
And which you don't. I don't think I've ever seen you drink a Coke. And all of a sudden you were like kind of peppy. I was like, oh, you're like my dog. You're like Joey when she gets low blood sugar. She's like, pretends to be dead.
I'm just tired all the time, and I think my body's going to get more acclimated to it all.
Sure.
So, anyways, that's my cancer treatment. I'll be fine, everybody.
Kelly, you're kind of a bitch, dude.
Send me Venmo money.
Send me Venmo money for Kelly. I'll spend it.
We're gonna next podcast. Kelly's rant is all about insurance and what a scam it is.
You know what we need to do? You know, there's that line from Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. He's like, I needed their money. I knew how to spend it better than that. Send me Kelly's cancer money. I got it. Do you want to do we've been going on for
whatever you want to do.
We're an hour, so let's try to wrap this up. I don't want to go too long.
Let's just do. We don't need to do my FYP.
Let's do one thing from you and one thing from me because we've barely even done anything today.
Let's do Kelly's rant.
Okay. So let me find it real quick.
It should be on our shared folder.
Yeah, Kelly's rant. Do you need all these links up and everything?
I need the first.
I'm gonna pause real quick.
Okay.
Okay. We're ready to roll. Ready for your rant whenever you want to go, man.
Is this showing on the screen?
It's not, but it will be right now.
Do you know who that is?
It is something. He's a congressman.
It's Madison Cawthorn.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
Yeah. All right. Drop to the second link, the Wikipedia link. Let's just do a little background. Quick background on him. He's a U.S. congressman, I believe, from North Carolina.
Yep.
Young dude. He's very young.
From North Carolina, 11th Congressional District since 2021, a member of the Republican Party. He was the youngest, right? He's like the youngest representative.
Something like that. And I really like him. He's a pretty hardcore conservative.
And despite admitting on January 23rd, 2021 interview that it was not, he has since repeated baseless claims that the election was, quote, rigged and, quote, stolen.
Which I'm not disagreeing with that.
They're baseless claims.
They are baseless. Anyways, I just want to give you that's the background. So he's a U.S. congressman. You know, he's a good-looking, very good. He's paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair.
I was just about to say he's in a wheelchair.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
but he's a good-looking dude. Pretty hardcore conservative.
Yeah, he's definitely in that Boebert. He's in that Boebert camp.
No, I don't.
Yeah, he's kind of a. He's.
I'm not going to say he's that unhinged.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't get me wrong. I kind of like. She's like Trump.
I know you do. You like it.
No.
I like the OG. I like Trump. I don't like when all of his little followers try to mimic their
I don't.
game.
When I say I don't like it, I like it when they call out bullshit.
Right.
And they do.
Yeah, sure.
Like, AOC wearing the tax the rich dress.
They're all calling bullshit
and
on
it's
that.
$27,000 dress she's wearing. It's called.
I don't want to say that because I don't want to talk on my ass like I did with Candace Owens that one time. I have seen him and I've seen things that I've liked, and then I've heard things that I don't like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those could very easily just be
I'm gonna say
slander kind of a thing. You know how they do. You know what I mean? So I don't know enough about him.
I'm going to say, and this is completely, I don't know. Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Matt Walsh, probably give Madison Cawthorn a thumbs up.
Okay.
Like, they may be like, hey, tamper this down, but
Sure.
he's not crazy.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
he's a little feisty, but he's not crazy.
He's 24. Okay. So he was on a podcast. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Is it the TikTok?
You're going to love him more now because he's the new conservative Republican. Not even Republican, conservative.
The new conservative.
Like,
what I like
hey,
to call the new conservative.
Like, hey, you're gay?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
He's that guy.
I love that. That's
what most of the Republican Party is anyways.
Okay.
Right? So click this podcast.
So the TikTok that we're going to
watch. This is a TikTok. This is the cleanest media I could find on this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So look, he's just a bro with hat hanged out backwards.
Yeah, man. I'm just like your Congress bro. It's okay. AOC did a makeup tutorial. Okay, you want to watch it?
Go ahead.
Oh, hold on. Pause. We haven't done any audio. I forgot to set up the. It's okay. Just give me 1 second.
But go ahead and read that real quick.
It says Madison Cawthorn talks about DC's elites having orgies and doing cocaine. I did hear about this. Oops, didn't think he was supposed to tell us about that one. I did hear about this. Some people were...
He was like, what the hell?
All right, we'll see.
The perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, with the average age is probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like,
I don't know how
what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you. And it's like, wow, this is wild. The sexual perversion.
So it's him calling out.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut's a real thing. It's a real movie.
I tell you, all those
so it must be real.
All those Democrat leaders and the Republican leaders that get up there and talk shit about each other, they've been there to get their buddies.
Name me one House representative that you would smash on, Kelly.
House representative that I would smash.
Right. If we're talking about, all these orgies and shit, are they orgies with like multiple congressional, or is it like one congressman gets like a bunch of fucking wild people?
Their aides in.
Okay.
So House
I was waiting
minority,
for him to say AOC.
House minority. I would.
Well,
yeah. I'd choke her and just keep choking. Anyways, too far, too soon? All right.
He has cancer. He can say he doesn't care anymore. You're like Ricky Gervais. I don't care anymore.
So House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
Yes.
Not want to publicly criticize members of his own caucus, issued a rare rebuke to the North Carolina Republican.
Wow.
Saying that he's lost my trust. This is unacceptable. There's no evidence, McCarthy said.
So wait, hold on. Look, I'm going to inject here. Yeah. He never said Kevin McCarthy in the podcast, unless he did.
No.
He never directly called him out. Okay.
Noting that Cawthorn was unable to provide proof of his claims that that's not becoming of a congressman, and he did not tell the truth. He's lost my trust, and he's going to have to earn it back, the House GOP leader added. You can't just say you can't do this again. I mean, he's got a lot of members very upset. He can't just make these statements.
See,
hold on.
That's crazy.
What does Madison Cawthorn do?
Go, and he directly
doubles down.
And yeah, sure.
Cawthorn, quote, corruption and unethical activities exist in Washington. It's an undisputable fact. This is after.
Sure.
If you don't think that's true, you've not witnessed the swamp as I have. My comments on a recent podcast appearance calling out corruption have been used by the left and the media to disparage my Republican colleagues and falsely insinuate their involvements in illicit activities. The North Carolina Republican claimed that Democrats and the media want to use his controversial remarks to splinter his party. Quote, the culture in Washington is corrupt. Human nature is fallen. Compromising activities occur because when other people can place you in these compromising positions, they can control you.
Right. That's the whole Jeffrey Epstein.
He said without specifying who or what he was referring to.
See, and that's kind of crazy that he didn't name names, but then this one guy, Kevin McCarthy, goes off and he's like,
"Well, he's the leader of the Republican Party. He's got to
say something."
But
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of people like, "Hey, Kevin, get your ass up there and
say something right now." Wow.
I 100% believe him.
Oh, I do too.
100%.
Sure. No, I actually do. I believe him. I think that I know a bunch of non-political people that live in my sphere that do some fucked up stuff in terms of sexual promiscuity.
Really? Who?
I'm not going to say, but I know people who have, dabbled in different things around, and they're not the most powerful people in the world. Yeah. You think that desire to do promiscuous things stops when you're the most powerful person in the world? No, it only gets better. Cocaine only gets better the richer you get, right?
Probably gets better. Yeah, right. Probably get better cocaine.
Literally, I think that that I agree because I've seen normal people doing these things. I have no doubt in my mind at the very top that it's the 1% of that version,
See, and that's like you're going off on the Bober lady.
Yeah.
She don't follow. I guarantee
she doesn't get invited to those parties. She's a little too.
And
wild.
I'm just using this thing, but Nancy Pelosi and
I would love to see
Mitch
her at
McConnell
a event.
They're probably friends. They've been work colleagues for 40 years.
They're friends. No. They're definitely friends.
Hey, I got to go out here and talk smack about you, but you're going to go talk smack about me.
And the two of them have been in politics so long, they completely understand the cyclical nature of politics. Nancy Pelosi knows she's not going anywhere until she dies.
Yeah.
Or until she decides she wants to be done. So, okay, they're going to take a beating in the midterms.
I know she was voted the most hated Democrat the other day.
Oh, really? Well, I don't believe in any of those polls or anything like that. I think that is a load of shit, especially for the most modern world that we live in. But those they got to be friends. Her and
I guarantee this shit goes.
They're
on.
buddies.
So that's what I got.
Sure.
What do you got? What's your last thing?
Oh, we're done. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
I didn't.
That's all I had with him.
Dude.
All that went away. They came out, they rebuked him, and it went away very quickly.
Yeah. No one's talking about it.
No one talks
just
about
like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
What else isn't the politics talking about right now and using Ukraine?
Something with the borders happening.
Something always with the border. Got to secure that border.
By the way, did you see in January was the highest ever?
No, I didn't see that.
For illegal aliens crossing.
I was too focused.
It was the highest ever until February, beat January.
Dang.
And March beat February.
Okay.
So,
two options
to
finish this thing off.
Okay.
We can either look at one subreddit called Idiots Almost Dying, or we can look at one subreddit thread conversation called What is Your Most Conservative Ideas? Do you want to know what the commies of Reddit think is their most conservative idea, or do you want to see people almost dying?
I want to see the commie thing.
I was hoping this is the one you wanted. Because we all know that Reddit is majority lefties out there. There's not a whole lot of deep conservative thinking going on in Reddit, which is okay.
That's fine. They got.
But I saw this post. Oh no! But we can still see the comments.
Okay, that's all we needed, anyways, right?
Right. So this post has been removed by moderators, but we can still see it, right? Okay, we can still see it. So the question is on Ask Reddit subreddit, and it says, "What is your most conservative opinion?" Well, I'm trying to zoom in here.
Practice medicine part-time.
This is a promoted. Okay.
Children don't belong. I agree with that.
I'm
not disagreeing.
I'm gonna say you might agree with most of these. I was like,
All right.
Okay.
Voting for someone just because they are a different race than white or a woman is incredibly, absolutely.
You're gonna love these. We're only gonna do short ones. Oh, and I can close. Let me do it like this.
As a Latino American, I don't particularly like the
No.
term rednecks.
Don't worry about it. I'm closing it down so we can.
I agree with that too. Yes.
High schools, yeah, I'll read one, you read one.
right.
It says, high schools push four-year college too much. The school system should also push trade schools as much as four-year colleges. There's a shortage of blah, blah, blah. I agree. You agree?
They should have, like, your senior year, you should be able to go apprentice somewhere.
Yeah. You're up.
Some kinks deserve to be shamed.
What are those kinks?
Grooming?
Gaping buttholes. That's disgusting.
I don't know. See, I may disagree if it's anything between two consenting adults.
What about a dog?
Yeah, that should be
That should be shamed, right?
It's not a consenting adult.
But the whole animal love movement, fuck that. Okay, so I agree with that one too.
Under President Trump, Education Secretary Betsy DeVos repeal of Obama-era laws compelling colleges to run their own investigations and tribunals for cases of sexual assault was the right move. Sexual assault is a serious crime and a matter. There goes another one. College administrators don't have the expertise and resources. I think the entire, you know what? I got a hot. The entire college system needs to be revamped.
Heard. And consolidated and broken down and fixed and
They've
everything.
taken.
I don't know what this.
They're the one. Hey, if you got college debt,
Here we go, Kelly.
it's the college's fault and yours.
Your triggers are your responsibility. It isn't the world's obligation to tiptoe around you.
Absolutely.
I love this thread. I want to friend everyone on this thread.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think marijuana should be legal and that we should, as a society, do more to protect nature and switch to renewable energy.
Okay. See, that's that new conservative right there.
I am about as hardcore conservative as you can get.
Right.
I mean, I'm very liberal on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, see, that's why I say I hate saying that I'm a Republican.
Right.
Because you know what? If you're gay, I don't care.
Yeah, you're kind of your idea
Like
is
the
just
new,
flow
and I think
the new conservative.
Conservatives get a bad rap because they're like
The Mitch McConnells of the world, or the old Mitch McConnells.
Yeah.
You know,
the conservatives now are all about your own personal freedom.
Right.
You want to be gay? Be gay. You want to be trans? Be trans.
We have a good, healthy sense of nationalism. You know, America first. We need to be building things in our country. We need to be happy and promote American values. We care about the nuclear family staying in place.
Yeah.
We care about, you know what? New conservatives think Jeff Bezos should be taxed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? 70% of Americans right now think that, I mean, I don't know about the 20% tax thing that Biden's quoting. That's never going to go through.
That's
never going to go through.
That's unconstitutional. It's not a tax.
But I think that like most modern day conservatives are like, yeah, Jeff Bezos, because you know how many people are on welfare working at Amazon warehouses? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Jeff Bezos is making money.
Welfare.
Yeah, there's more. Amazon has the most people on welfare.
When you say on welfare,
So like they're getting like food stamps of some kind, or they're getting some sort of governmental aid.
I was a corporal in the Marine Corps getting food stamps.
Yeah, but what we're saying is like, what it's saying is like, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world.
Yeah, he should definitely be kicking down to help his peeps.
His people are still the most employees on welfare of any company in the world. You know what I mean? Or any company in the United States, I should say. Like,
what is welfare? Like $30,000?
Yeah, something like that. That's nothing, dude. That's no money.
No.
Making $30,000.
They're not paying taxes. People that make $30,000 don't pay taxes.
Neither is Jeff Bezos, though.
Jeff Bezos
is paying no taxes.
He's not. Amazon is, though.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's paying their taxes.
They're paying a lot of, and I'm not trying to
What
defend.
Is it, like 2%, 3%?
I'm not trying to defend Jeff Bezos.
Sure.
He's the last person I defend. But think of all the things that are being bought through Amazon that are paying taxes also.
Yeah, but, you know.
Amazon's paying taxes.
They had the Panama Papers. You remember that when that dropped? It was like a doxing of like financial statements from like people all over the world. And they found that the billionaire class of the United States, they're no longer hiding their money in Swiss banks. The government, the regulatory system is set up so that Jeff Bezos never pays taxes because he just gets, but what I was saying about the, new age conservatives, we believe that people like Jeff Bezos should at least pay their fair share.
I think the person making $30,000 a year
should pay their fair share.
Pay their fair share too.
But the percentage of someone making $30,000 a year, the percentage that they're paying relative to Jeff Bezos' wealth
it's not Jeff Bezos' fault.
That's what I know that. I'm not saying it's Jeff Bezos' fault.
Why
It's
are we
the
gonna
government's fault.
We're going to punish him because he had an amazing idea that he put his life savings
Well,
into,
I mean, it's at this
and put
point where it's a
everything-
monopolistic
And now-
power, and he's
Well,
got a little bit
I'm just saying,
uncontrollable.
I am all for billionaires.
Yeah.
Self-made billionaires.
Yeah, of course.
Those dudes didn't get there because, it was given to them. They had an amazing idea.
Elon Musk was,
But you know what? Those dudes have a responsibility.
right.
Jeff Bezos, $150 billion?
Sure.
Hey, dude, drop,
$1 billion,
just
less than
give it-
1%.
give it, and I hate saying this because I hate these people,
Right,
but
right.
the Facebook and Google people, they pay their people really well.
Right, where their employees get
And
paid well.
where they work is really, here's all the
Right.
food you'll ever want.
Right.
And why doesn't Amazon do that? Why don't
Yeah,
they make
well,
a place more?
exactly. And so that's-
employers,
I honestly, I'll walk it back. I don't give a fuck if Jeff Bezos doesn't pay his fair share in taxes, basically because I don't care. But if his people were being taken care of, his people wouldn't rise up. They just voted to unionize in Staten Island.
they should.
It's because they're not getting paid enough. They're not getting the working conditions.
I'm not a fan of Zuckerberg and the Google dudes and the Alphabet people, but they do take care of their people.
They're taking care.
Very
Their employee
well.
retention rate is very high.
They're very well paid, and they have.
We could be talking out our ass. We don't know, but
No, I've seen where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
eat and they work.
hey,
and-
I've seen the movie The Intern with Owen Wilson. I know about Google.
No, so I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I don't think people should be penalized for being rich.
Anyways,
Money that they've made.
that new conservative. You hate Crystal and Sagar because about the inheritance tax.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Bezos could just drop everything to his kid and he could die.
Yeah, I mean, if I made that stuff, you're definitely going to benefit from my death, being my son-in-law.
Kind of hoping the cancer thing works.
But why should the government come and take everything that I worked my whole life on? I'm going to go on. Social Security is the biggest scam.
Well, and that's the same exact thing. It's like, okay, well, if let's say your general net worth, let's say like you do die at some point, not because of cancer, and your family inherits what your net worth was. Let's say you were worth $400,000. What if all your assets and everything, put them together, you got $400,000, 401k, house, all this stuff? What's the difference between $400,000 and $400 billion? You know what I mean? Being the richest person on earth. I mean, it's just the way things work.
The government is already going to make a killing because they're not going to have to pay me Social Security that I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars into.
I don't know enough about any of this stuff,
It's
dude.
just a
I just want to know Reddit's most.
I like him. I'm on board with a lot of this stuff.
Anyways, yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, I like that one.
Cool.
All right.
Well, Kelly Craft, I'm going
Carter
to the outro. We're gonna wrap this thing up. This has been another episode of Generational Gap. Kelly, I'm glad we're back in the studio.
Me too. I've enjoyed this.
Making pods. It's been a long hiatus. It's good. It's good. Well, thank you so much for listening and watching. Hopefully we'll get some TikToks and some Instagrams put up in the next week or so. You can follow us on TikTok at GenGapTalk. You can follow us at Instagram at GenGapPics. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see y'all next week. Kelly, you want to say bye?
Bye.
Say bye to all your fans.
Bye, all my fans.
Bye, fans.
Somebody comment something.
He has cancer now. Now you have to listen to him. Bye.